Good afternoon, Year 4, and here is your final DT lesson of this term on Tuesday, the 9th of February. The aim of this lesson is to evaluate your gelato if you manage to do it. So if you weren't able to make it at home, don't worry at all, but you don't really need to have a go at this lesson today. This lesson is only for if you were able to have a go at making your gelato some point last week. And we look at how well you did and what you'd maybe improve next time. So again, if you didn't manage to make it at home, don't worry at all. We will hopefully again make it when we come back to school, and we will then do the evaluation afterwards. So you can almost say goodbye now. But if you did make your gelato that last week, it would be great to complete this lesson just for you to be able to reflect on the things that you did well and the things that you'd improve. So if you are still with me, we are going to be describing what's good about your gelato today. You're going to evaluate the challenges you faced and how you dealt with them, and you're going to explain how you would improve your gelato next time. Okay, so evaluate. What does it mean to evaluate something? Now, I spoke quite a lot in that intro there, so hopefully you've got a general idea of what it means, but just have a think about where you would put yourself on the learning pit today. You have already evaluated your shadufs that we made in DT, and you've evaluated your canopic jars, couldn't think of the word there, in art. So hopefully we've got a general idea, and hopefully you are somewhere at the side of the learning pit here, or potentially out the top. Okay, however, we have to taste. Now, lots of you, after you did make it, you sent me messages saying how well it tasted and that you'd already had a taste, which was brilliant. But you can't evaluate it until you actually taste your gelato. So as long as you don't have it all and mums and dads don't mind, go and have another taste of it now. And while you have a taste of it, there are three criteria I want you to be remembering: the flavor, the texture, and the color. How well does it taste, like the ingredients that you put in? How well does the color match the ingredients that you used? And how does it feel in your mouth? Is it nice and fluffy? Has it gone a bit hard because you didn't have an ice cream maker, for example? Have you got ice chunks, maybe? But please do go ahead and have another taste, and pause the video here if you need to do that. Okay, so now that you're back, true or false question: do you think you can evaluate your work accurately? And it says here, in order to evaluate your work accurately, you need to be really honest about the process and the final product. Is it okay if you found the process hard? Is it okay if you didn't like the end taste? Is it okay if you found the equipment tricky to use? And is it okay if it didn't turn out quite like you'd hoped? The answer, yes, it is. All of those things are okay. If you found this tricky, it would have been trickier at home, potentially, than at school. If you didn't have an ice cream maker, for instance, it was going to be trickier. But if you didn't like it in the end, that's still fine. You've still made an end product, but you can talk about those flavors. Okay, so Emmett says today then, he says, I think I'll be able to honestly evaluate my gelato. I will say that everything is hard except using the ice cream maker, and that I can improve everything. Do you think that would be a good evaluation for Emmett? Why or why not? Okay, hopefully you didn't think that Emmett's was a good evaluation, because he should include things that he found hard and should pick out the bits that he found tricky, but also needs to pick out the things he did well and the parts he was happy with. So there is a big green thumbs up and a red thumbs down here. And the best evaluations are when you evaluate both your strengths and your weaknesses. It's not just saying that everything was hard, or not just saying that everything was easy, and it's really going into depth on those steps that you did to complete your gelato. So your task today is to evaluate your work. If you have a photo from last week that you want to include, I've included a little add your photo here on your sheet. But you'll go deep. It then says you should include positives and negatives of the process and the final product, and you should be honest. And then they go deeper. It says you should also include your personal strengths and weaknesses of each part of the process. So there are 4 boxes for you to be answering today. The first one, what went well? Did it taste good? That's the first one. Second one, what challenges did you face? Then, how did you deal with the challenges? And finally, what would you change next time? Now, the really good evaluations, like I've said, include both the strengths and the weaknesses, and they go into detail. It wasn't just, yes, I found it easy. You really explain what it is, and you found the melting of the ingredients trickier, but when you mixed it together and having to stir it in the freezer, that was okay. So you really go into what you actually did. I wish you lots of luck today, and just come back right at the end for our learning pit. Off you go. Okay, a huge well done today, and I can't wait to see your evaluations and some more pictures if you'd like to send those in. Just have a think about, have you included everything you needed to today? Have you filled those spaces, those boxes? The boxes aren't big, but make sure you've really put some detail into each of them. And the biggest thing, were you honest? The evaluation is no good to anyone else if you weren't honest with yourself. So make sure you were honest. Even if you found everything tricky and you thought you could improve it all, I hope you've put some positives in there as well. I look forward to doing some more DT with you after half term, and fingers crossed, or it might even be our art unit. So fingers crossed we'll be able to do that with you very soon. Thank you very much for having a go at all of the DT at home. I know it's not quite been the same as it would have been in school, but I really appreciate you, and please say a big thank you to your parents for letting you have a go and try and complete as much as possible at home. It's really hard for them as well, so a big thank you from me. For now, I will see you later though. Take care. Bye.